Okay.
All right, so we can get started.
We could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Today is January 11th. It's 7 p.m. It's the first preliminary presentation of the Village Multi-Fund, also known as the General Fund. What I have here is, and again, what I would like to do is try to move especially payroll into the different, the three funds. Okay, I will have the water and sewer for you for the next meeting, and we'll just make any corrections to this one as we need to. Only because even though we have outside contractors, our DPW, our office help, our office staff is still working in all three funds. Okay. So we have a budget here, Village Hall, 2020-21, the budget year that we're in. We had a line item, or total line item of $216,952.44. That's being increased, preliminary, $240,770. You could see we had a large increase with our utilities. And
Can you scroll to the top?
I'm sorry?
Are you reading like from the top of your chart?
No, I'm reading from the bottom.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Okay. Trustees went from 26,400 total to 28,800. I think it's $600 per month, $50 raise. The mayor went from $11,440 per year to $12,000 per year. Village clerk, I'm figuring percentage-wise for all department heads being the same. I believe it was 2%. The justices with an increase, the deputy village justice, who I have not seen, it's 4 years. The court clerk overtime, the clerical positions for $5,000. Court prosecutors remain the same. Treasurer has gone up. Again, I like to spread that money into the other two funds. Village Hall, municipal, contractual, our buildings are old. And really, Chief, it also has to do with your building too, even though it says Village Hall, miscellaneous contractual. It also has to do with the police station. So it behooves us to get everybody in under one roof.
Sounds good.
The municipal services, rather, I'm sorry. We have the attorneys remaining the same. I don't see a reason why that can't even be reduced. Codification of laws can be reduced. Moratorium went up 3,500. We didn't have it. I don't see us having it. That could be reduced to 0. Actuarial services remains the same. Legal notices. I think, the legal notices is a bit high because whenever we deal with planning or zoning, the applicant pays for those legal notices. The village website, I think we still have to work hard on it. Walling Road has been wonderful with it. I've also contacted him. Well, I planned to send him an email after this. I was afraid he would get back to me during this to set up what we did last year, where the residents could submit a question regarding a budget item, that they would all be answered as they come in. Village Hall election, Village Hall supplies remain the same.
That's good.
Blackboard Connect remains the same. Election custodian has gone up $25. Yes, Paul?
That's not, if you scroll back to the top of the screen, I don't know if you can make it a full screen instead of, and that's not unencumbered balance, right? That's not, that's the 2021.
Yes, it's the 2021. Yeah. The existing budget is not on here. I was telling Valerie today, we're okay. We're not great, but we're okay. Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I spoke.
I thought if you went to a full screen, we'd see it, but if it's not there, I guess I won't.
Yeah, I spoke to the chief today, commended him really on what he's doing with his department as far as the overtime and payroll. He's saving a lot for us, for him. He's also a village resident, so I commend him on that. We have the shared services, office supplies, memberships and dues, village auditors. It has gone up. We are getting some really good work out of the auditors. They have completed the AUDs that was sent up to EFC. They should be working on the AUD for this year itself. Our payroll system, gasoline, and really, is gas going to go up? I don't know. Is fuel going to go up? I don't know. Everything does. Here's the maintenance of buildings. Chief, this is where you really come in with $1,500 increase. Engineering, I lowered it. A lot of the IT equipment, Chief, we have the ITC maintenance, which is the same as last year, 2000. We really have to look at that presentation that he gave us last week to see exactly how much this is going to cost us. That's your project, right, Chief?
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Okay. It's something that needs to be done. We have special items, general government, MTA, contingent personnel expense, contingent payroll. It did increase. It can be brought down to the 158 because I don't believe this year we're even going to touch the payroll or the MTA. We will be touching the contingent personnel expense but not for the full 60,000 or not for the full $55,000. This is what Chief had sent us all last night. You see here, there's a $2,563 increase. Looking at and this, is a conversation that the chief and I had today, the full-time police, night differential, the overtime. I lowered it because it's a lot lower than the 190. Okay, and that's why I was saying that he's doing a good job with the overtime. If people come into work, the overtime gets cut. All right. SROs went up $3,000. School police remained the same. Dispatcher, Chief, are we still looking for that second dispatcher?
We are. We canvassed the list. We should be starting interviews soon. I'm just waiting probably for another week till we finalize some interviews.
Okay.
So hopefully by March we'll have that applicant hired.
Do they look promising?
We have to interview still because of
All right.
COVID and we ran out of time. We got to just do a little bit more legwork with backgrounds.
Okay. You see here the officer equipment went up $12,000. That's the scales that the chief had put in for this year. Pretty much everything, the vehicle equipment came down. We're looking to, where is the Ford lease? We are looking to lease another 2 more cars this year. And he wants to surplus, what is it, the Trailblazer and
In
another.
my letter, yeah, there's 2 vehicles that we probably could look to get rid of. The 2008 Detectives Unmarked vehicle, which has, I think 163,000 miles.
That's
and-
not the gray car, is it?
No, it's a black car that Detective
Okay.
Sam drives.
Yep.
And then the Trailblazer, possibly.
Now, as far as the radio and video, it went from 31,000 to 30,000. Are we online to be put online with the rest of the county? Has that been done already?
Yes, we are online.
So is this a number that could disappear?
No, that still pays for our surveillance of the police station,
Okay.
our door access, our video access inside the station, our dispatch console, and our Eventide, which is our recording system.
Okay.
That number, it used to be a lot higher.
Yes.
but
It was a real lot higher.
Yeah, we've gone down a little bit since we were on the county radio system, but there are some expected costs that reoccur every year.
Okay. The vehicle maintenance should, well, probably could be reduced if we're having all new cars. But we'll leave that for now. You look at the meals and travel. Last year was budgeted at 4,500. I moved it to 7,000 because in here is also the DPW. Whenever they work more than so many hours, especially with snow removal, it's in their contract that they have to have a meal break and the village pays for the meal. So that's also in there. We could pull it out and guesstimate how much the police are going to use, how much the DPW is going to use. But we also, I also did it with the first aid supplies. Okay, we use 2 companies. One is Syntaz and the other is, Chief, help me out on this one. Okay, maybe not.
Cintas does the rugs, but we don't have anybody. That line item for first aid equipment I use for like a defibrillator, Band-Aids, things like that. That's what I use that line item for.
Right, but Syntaz does the first aid and safety. We have UniFirst who does the mats.
That's right. Yep.
Crossing guards, we're back to 2, but lowered the amount, I guess.
The only reason I've done that is we used to have 2 that worked with the police officers now at the schools. The majority of the time, they've really been stepping up and as things have progressed, realized how they can help with the crossing guard duties.
Okay.
So that's why we lowered it. We had put out a notice for a second crossing guard, but since we haven't been able to get anybody, the officers have been doing it. It's working out okay.
All right, Sunday schools will actually be open, that we will need crossing guards there, which will help us with the SRO line item. I raised the utilities from 9,500 to 12,000. I think the chief actually did that. I just copied it. Keeping in mind that Frontier comes, to the village hall, so does Orange and Rockland. and they're coded differently. So some of this $12,000 might actually go to Village Halls. It might even go down to the DPW. All right, never goes into water and sewer. Completely different line items for that. The extended warranty, the license plate reader, Chief, 6,000 to 26,000.
Yeah, that's currently we have extended warranties for our mobile license plate
Yes.
readers. That increase, as I detailed in the report, was for a fixed location that I'm interested in. I'm still applying grants,
Okay.
so that might not be a true number either. But I just put it in there to try to project a number.
Okay, and it's just one fixed location, and you wanted to put it like 208 or something?
As of right now, that's a good estimate. It's
Yeah.
for one location with 2 cameras. It would pick up both directions.
Okay, sounds good. The police dog, as you see, last year was a purchase of the police dog for $8,000. We did receive $4,000 from the district attorney. Is he coming through for the other 4? I don't know. But the dog cost us $4,000, and I think it's worth every penny of it. So, how did he go the other day, Chief, on Friday?
It went very well.
Did he? Did
Very
it?
well, yeah.
Okay. Worth every penny. Here's something that, again, we have public safety, the electric, the maintenance, the parking division equipment. If we ever move forward with it, meaning crosswalk has to be put in. Paul and I sat down or talked with the state. Paul, you were 100% correct. You said 2 years, it's now 4. Before they moved on getting a crosswalk in there. But again, it's revenue to the village. But this whole thing can be taken out. This whole, the whole $12,000 can be taken out. Sanitation, storm sewer drainage, DEC projects, it went up $10,000. We did make some pretty good headway with the DEC this year. They are pretty much off our backs, and I don't want them to get back on our backs. So we do have a lot of, and really having the stormwater report, which everyone has, hopefully you had time to read that and give some feedback. That's something that the village hasn't had in years, a stormwater plan. Code enforcement, as you see here, it's a tremendous increase. I'd like to schedule a meeting to discuss all of this. It can't be discussed here. Highways and streets, you see it increased about $200,000. Taking this salary here and putting it in the other, putting the rest in the other 2 budgets. Maintenance, purchase of equipment, looking at a hot box, as well as I'd like to look for 2 new trucks, because it's silly to just keep throwing good money after bad. Okay. We have 1 truck that's parked down there at the DPW that can be auctioned off, and we have another one that is not going to be fixed. It's at one of the mechanic shop that could be auctioned off. So again, that would help us with the purchase of the equipment. Again, with the 5 years, and then you buy it after that for $1. Supplies for snow removal. I'm guessing, you know, it could go up $10,000. Salt, I don't know. Utilities is not going to be 150,000. So I will change that to that. Okay. Good call, Val. I saw you looking and you went, well, that's kind of high. But I'm not going to say anything because he's on a roll. So really it just went up 73,000, just like that. Our parks, pretty much everything stays the same. We do have an increase of $3,000, but you look at the, I'm sorry, decrease at $3,000 because the dog park is no longer, and that should say Village Dog Park. So I'll change that. Thank you, Louisa. Memorial Park, again, Sewell Park, we need to do something there. Okay, unless you just want to keep buying banners, it's fine. But I think it's time that we actually turn that into a place where people could go to reflect. As they oversee the Moodner and the surroundings. Recreation, again, 23,500. Now, my conversations with Christine, if this program does not cover the 23,500, then there's no more program. Okay, it's not costing the village residents anything. So we have to look at that whole program if it ever gets started. Historian supplies, celebrations, another $1,000 for the celebrations. I think when all of this is all over, we should have one big party for the village residents. As long as they all wear masks and they stay 6 feet away, we should be good. Zoning and planning, you see here, it did go up. I'm wondering, I'm guessing, if we offered a stipend to some of the members or all the members, even if it's just the gas to come back and forth, it might be worth it. You know, maybe $50 each. The training, the engineering, and the professional services and legal, that really is paid by the applicant. All right, our other fees for the attorneys is coming off of, I'm sorry, this is for our attorney to oversee the planning board and zoning board meetings. We got a letter the other day from Waste Management that their fees are going up. We moved, last year, I think we had dumpster service as well as regular garbage service. I condensed it to just one. Village property cleanup, that actually gets charged to the homeowner that left, or the bank. The chipper, we have a chipper that's leaking oil right now. I don't know how that damages. We are pretty close to ending that lease. I'm okay with just purchasing on a lease another chipper if this thing is not going to be worth fixing. I don't know your feelings on that. Signs, we're pretty much narrowing down the amount of signs that we need, although we still have a few interior signs. Street lights, that could be going up. I'm saying it could be going up $3,000 for the year. Planters, holiday decorations, banners, parades, shade tree department. Here we have state retirement system. these are just guesstimates, just like last year's guesstimates. It was a lot less than 285 last year from the year before. And the police have a different calculation. So we budgeted 365,000 last year. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot less this year, but I don't know what it's going to be next year. I don't know if this is where New York State is going to try to make up some of their money that they lost. Social Security and Medicare is based on the salaries, workman's compensation, disability. Again, all of these are just numbers. We don't know. Medical buyout, $25,000 as opposed to 18. We are less than 18 now, but we're working on something that we discussed a couple of months ago. Is hospitalization going up? I don't know. That's why I highlighted them. Medical insurance buyout, I think I just said that. Dental insurance, looking to put the whole village, all village employees on the same dental program. Different plans, but the same dental program. Life insurance, it's an $800 cost increase. So we'll probably be looking for other life insurance. So what I did with this page, I combined the dental. Okay, we had the police, we had the DPW and Village Hall. We used to send that 3 checks, okay, to 3 different companies, even though 2 companies were on the same floor in the same building, it's a different name. So, and the police have a very good dental program, and talking with that company, they're willing to work with us on this stuff. Okay. This is where a lot of big increase has come in with the ban of the road, the sidewalks that we took. So that is a larger increase than last year. I'm trying to find the email that I received from NOAA, from Unistat. Okay, that's the preliminary budget. I will forward this to each of you. You want to look at it, you want to ask questions on it. Is there something that you want to increase? Is there something that you have that you'd like to really see get done in the village this year?
Are you going to include the actual on it?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be a separate one. I don't know if,
Oh, that's fine. I just
Yeah.
curious, like
how
I don't
much,
know.
yeah.
It's hard to project what might
Yes.
get used and not, and just curious how it was this year.
Yes. I don't see Paul anyway, I just see his forehead. There you go. Any questions?
Yeah, that medical buyout, that can go down. That was only 25,000, right?
Yeah. Right now, we only have 2 employees that are on it.
Have we looked into the rest of it? Have we got any information back from the insurance company?
No. No.
If we go back to Sewell, what's the hold up on that?
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's no holdup at all.
All right.
And Brian, what does it look like on that that F-150? That seems like a lot of. Is that a lemon or what?
Yeah.
It's definitely it's not the vehicle itself, it's the upfitting. The company that we bought it from does their upfitting or outfitting there, like the and stuff. So tomorrow morning they're coming back to us, gonna do some rewiring of the center console, but they know we're not happy. I've been keeping all the emails and notes, and hopefully tomorrow should be the last time. They were here last week and changed out a couple things, and tomorrow they're gonna rewire the wiring harness for the center console, but everything else is working fine in the truck. It's just the outfitting of the emergency lights.
And with the scales, are these people returning on these violations?
I'm sorry, Paul. Are they coming to court? You mean?
Yeah. You said you said we can recoup the money in less than 2 years, but are we really doing that much?
Well, if we purchase them, we'll use them. We only borrowed Monroe's one day, and we wrote a few tickets for that day. So I would imagine if we do 2 DOT checks a month, plus normal patrol and find vehicles overweight, it'd be more than just 2 details a month. So I think the fine itself is $350 if convicted, starts at. So we just multiply that by the number of tickets that we might be issuing for overweight vehicles. And that's why I was estimating recouping the money in less than 2 years.
For the scales you're talking about.
The scales, yes.
When is our next meeting? Tuesday, right? A week from tomorrow?
Yeah, you said the 19th.
Yeah. Is there another meeting going on in South Blooming Grove or Blooming Grove?
Yeah,
Both?
no, South Blooming Grove, as far as I know. I don't know about the town.
Well, they're looking at the buses, right? The code enforcer?
Yeah, I didn't look at the agenda for tonight.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'll look at it,
The top square? Okay. Chief, you good? Any questions?
No, I'm good. I just if you could, like Val had asked, show the amount year to date that we've used. I have some figures. I just want to make sure mine are close to yours. To
Okay.
make sure there's no other increases that I would need. But thank you.
No, I don't think you have any more increases. I think you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I could send everything out in the morning to you guys. I'm gonna have some dinner right now.
have your dinner.
That sounds good to me.
All right.
Yes.
And if I hear any information on what we discussed before, I'll let you know.
Yes, please.
All right?
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
You too.
you.
Thanks.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right.
Night.
Bye.
Good night.